Okay, we're going to be talking about Section 8 today, and specifically we're going to go over a video of this lady who ended up talking about her regrets and what she learned from being on Section 8. And I'm a Section 8 landlord. I do have currently only one property under Section 8, but I used to have a whole bunch in the Newtown area of Sarasota. Right now, let's get into this. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Maciek Zaremba. I'm with Fathom Realty. I am a real estate agent in Sarasota. So now let's get right into this. What is she saying?
When I first heard of Section 8 and public assistance, it sounded like I hit the jackpot.
Okay, first she says it sounded like she hit the jackpot. You know, getting free money or government subsidized money because you really, really need it does sound like you just got a winning lottery ticket. And you know, in many, many cases, it is the truth. It is a blessing to get free money from the government. This is a federal program. Section 8 is across the entire US. It's made for people who really need it. Usually single moms, single dads that have dependents and are in a position where for some reason or another, they can't make ends meet. And it's specifically for housing.
Like, I'm finally here. I finally get to live a good life, rent-free.
Okay, so she said she finally gets to live a good life rent-free. And there's two things I want to mention this. First of all, getting Section 8 doesn't mean you're living a good life, just like if you get food stamps or if you get any other kind of assistance. There was some sort of perception she had, so don't be under the wrong impression, where just because you get assistance doesn't mean that you're in like this great place all of a sudden. You know, your experience of life is based on your thought process and how you perceive it. So that's the first thing I'll say. And the second thing is she said she'll get to live rent-free. And let me tell you something about Section 8. They don't pay all of your rent. In very rare cases, they will pay 100% of the rent, but that is not what the program is about. It's important to know that you have to apply for this program, wait a long time, and you're still going to be paying rent. You're just going to be government subsidized, and you can't just live anywhere, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
I get to keep my money in my pocket.
Okay, she says she gets to keep her money in her pocket. You get to keep more of your money in your pocket, but you're limited with how much money you can make on the books. And you know, if you're not putting your money on the books, you are defrauding the system. You're also defrauding the IRS. That's a whole bunch of problems. That's a deeper problem that you have if you're running your life that way.
Because I get my rent paid. Little did I know that it would ruin my life.
All right, now it's gonna get juicy.
I got Section 8 after I had my second child. I applied to all these wait lists and I finally got it.
Okay, so she did mention that she applied to a whole bunch of wait lists and she finally got Section 8. And one thing that you should really know about is that when you get on Section 8, the average wait list is 10 years. Now, it's dependent on the area, it's dependent on how many people are on the wait list and also how many landlords there are out there that are going to be taking Section 8 and get their property approved for that. But it sounds like she's already been on the list and then she was pregnant and then her second child was born, and that probably triggered something because once you have two children, you're in more of a need than someone with one child.
And I got to choose the neighborhood I wanted to live in.
All right, she says she can choose the neighborhood she wants to live in. Well, only a little bit. They have some government subsidized housing out there, but then there's landlords like me that have to get their property approved. And let me tell you, there's some zip codes where there's 0 options for Section 8 housing. There's not a lot of landlords, you know, in 34238 that are going to go and take Section 8, if any at all. So she cannot just choose any neighborhood she wants to live in. She can choose from this very small pool of choices. And usually there's a lot of people in these neighborhoods on Section 8, so you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
I got to pick the house that I wanted to live in as long as it fit the budget. I got to choose how many bedrooms that I got. It was so wonderful.
Okay, well, yeah, you do get to choose where you live. At the end of the day, you always have that choice, as long as you can afford it. And, you know, the program just has to approve the property. And also it has to stay within the budget of that program. And that is very wonderful.
At that time, I didn't know that my then boyfriend, who already had a felony,
All right, I can see where this is going.
would not be able to live with me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, most landlords don't take people that are felons, period. Okay? You go through a background check and you go apply. You have to do a background check, a credit check with like literally 95, 96% of all landlords out there. And you're already living with him, and now you're getting subsidized housing, and you realize you won't be able to live with him because Section 8 isn't here to make his life easy. It's here to help your life that's troubled. So probably she has already cheated the system. I don't know for sure, but I'm just presuming here that she did not disclose that his income is coming in and helping pay for anything in her life, which would include housing. And maybe if she had disclosed that, she wouldn't actually have gotten the housing voucher.
So now, us living together had to be a secret.
Oh no, she decided to move him in. Okay, first of all, did the landlord know? Because now you have an extra occupant that's not approved. Second of all, did Section 8 know? Obviously not. She kept it a secret. They had to keep it a secret. I want to see how they ended up doing that, because that is really hard to get away with, sneaking an adult into a property that you are renting from a landlord and then the landlord never finding out. But it also depends. If it's an individual landlord like myself, well, then it's a little easier to get away with that. But if it's a complex that's all government subsidized housing, well, then it's a lot harder to get away with it, because there's a lot of people, you know. But if you're just renting a single family home or a condo or something, well, then it's a lot easier to get away with that.
When it was time for inspection, I was hiding his shoes and hiding his clothes and hiding his belongings.
Okay, yes, and Section 8 properties have to go through a yearly inspection of the property to make sure like the windows open and close and stay open, that all the doors function properly, that the plumbing is okay. You know, they have a whole checklist that they check. And for some reason, every single time I have one done, there's something to fix, okay? Even if the tenant broke it, the landlord is still usually responsible to fix it, or else they don't get the renewal voucher. But here she's saying that she had to hide all his stuff because she's blatantly knowing she is cheating the system, which, by the way, you can get arrested for that. It is a crime to do what she is admitting to doing on TikTok. So maybe take this post down, lady.
So that they wouldn't know that there was a man living with me, which caused tension. It caused, you know, some resentment, you know, and I'll talk about that later. But at that time, I didn't know how it was causing a separation between us. But we did it.
Okay, I think that's really just personal for her. That has nothing to do with Section 8.
You hear a knock at the door, and you wondered if it's management or maintenance or somebody who's going to see him there.
All right, so look, she's now on guard because she knows she is cheating the system. Guys, do not do this. Please do not cheat the Section 8 system. Do not cheat the loan process. Do not cheat your landlord by moving in your brother with his whole family after you've rented a single family house. Just do the right thing. Is it really that difficult, people? Just do the right thing. And you know, for some reason, she decided to cheat the system, and now she's living with the natural consequence of that, which is being on guard and always looking out and seeing who's knocking at the door, and I have to hide all his stuff and trying to basically get away with a crime. I mean, that's what you're doing, lady. I feel for you, but come on.
So, again, we would hide and sneak around and make it seem like, you know, he didn't live there. You know, and then it became one of those things that you don't live here. You can't even be on a lease.
All right, that is very true. He can't be on the lease, and they started hiding the reality from Section 8 and probably the landlord as well. This is not looking good, but she did post a part 2. Let's go into that.
So this is the part 2 on how Section 8 is a trap. Section 8 keep you with a mindset this little.
Okay, this is deep. This might be a little bit controversial. So she's saying that, it's keeping your mind this little and it's a trap. And, there's different opinions on this. I'm going to share my opinion. And I think that's true. And, easy for me to say I'm a guy who's working hard and doing his thing and really found a niche that he loves doing. And I did not come from poverty. I'm not in the perpetual loop of that. I get it, right? I understand that. But I also believe in you. And I believe that if you're in it, if you're in that, what she called trap, that you can take steps to get out of it. And it's not going to be easy. It's not easy for anybody to get out of any perpetual loop that they grew up in. And, about keeping your mind this little, I don't agree with that. I think it can expand your mind. I think it can actually open up a can of worms of you going after it and thriving and really just saying, I'm not going to go back to where I came from. I'm going to go and advance, and I'm going to change the future of the next generations of my family. But if you're in that, what she calls trap, and you're perpetually cycling over and over and over, it's going to take a decision to get out of that. And it's going to take so much more work than it would for me to get to my next level, because it is a very, very difficult thing to change what you believed in and what was ingrained to you as a child. And whatever it was that she had learned, I feel for her. And let's listen more what she has to say about this.
Instantly, after we moved into this place, because it's got more residents that are Section 8 based, everybody looking at us like, ooh, how she got a man living with her?
Okay, so it sounds like I think she just revealed that she was in a government subsidized complex. And indeed, you are going to be around everyone else who has Section 8. And the mindset there is all around you now, and it's a lot more difficult to get out of that when all your peers and neighbors and everyone here is looking at you from the perception, of this.
So they ready to tell, and they did.
Oh man, so it sounds like they turned her in for having a man.
Because they see a man and they automatically know.
Listen, guys, don't be a snitch. Don't rat people out, okay? Just don't do it. Even if they offer you a reward, don't do it. Just respect your neighbors. You're not helping anybody by making the government win like that. Like, I don't know what I would do, but don't do that, please.
That, she gotta have Section 8 if she out here, because we all got Section 8. And if she got Section 8, she not supposed to have no man living with her. Period. Nobody even know the situation. They don't even know. It's just that knowing that you black and you got Section 8, you shouldn't be having no man live with you.
Okay, I don't know what being black has anything to do with this. However, I will say that people will turn you in, and people will think that they're, winning by pushing you down. It's a lot better to win by pulling people up, but apparently that's what she did.
Period. You should be a single mom, broke down, no family, baby daddy problems, all of that kind of stuff. So
okay, and this is an example of what I was saying earlier, how when you're within this kind of mindset, it's a lot harder to get out of it, because everyone around you is thinking what she has mentioned here. So it is more difficult to get out of it once you're in it.
We had people calling the office on us left and right. Oh, he there now. Next thing you know, here come maintenance knocking at the door. How can I help you? Oh, no, you wasn't. You just want to be nosy and see what you can see.
Okay, look, I understand and I get it. I've been that landlord that's come by and looked at property once I had things reported, particularly drug dealing and extra people living there. But one thing she's not addressing is that she is cheating the system. She is committing a crime, and she's trying to explain how it's not fair that people are turning her in when she's committing a crime and cheating the system, and she's not being fair to everyone who actually needs it more than her. And apparently people under Section 8 in her neighborhood didn't like that, and neither did the landlord. So the maintenance man coming around now and trying to get in and trying to figure out, is she cheating it or not?
So here we go with this. Here we go with the nosy neighbors. Everybody want to be messy. Everybody want to tell, because
Okay, you started the mess. You are cheating the system. You started this mess. Now you're not taking accountability. You are blaming other people. Look, hate me, guys. If you don't like what I'm saying, make a comment down below. I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. You can't just go and be blaming everyone else when you're committing crimes and stealing money from the government.
see, they don't want you to have nothing that they don't have. And if they man can't come over, they man can't live with them, then your man shouldn't be living with you.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's true, right? Maybe that's how they look at it, okay? But you're still cheating the system.
Okay. They do the certifications or recertifications, whatever you want to call them. Now they want all your business. They want to know what kind of drawers you wear, what size they is, how much you pay for. They want to know everything.
I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Nobody wants to know the size of your drawers and how much you're paying for them. No one cares. No one cares. I don't know what she's talking about. The recertification is most likely, first of all, on the tenant side to make sure that she is not earning too much money and not spending too much money. And second is on the property side that this property gets recertified so it's a safe dwelling for the tenant.
Don't leave nothing out, because now they finna threaten you and tell you if you leave something out, you committing fraud. And
you are committing fraud. What the hell are you talking about? You're committing fraud.
All of this stuff, it just keeps you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what to do. You don't know.
Because you're committing fraud.
What to do. And mind you, the more money you make, the more your rent is going to go up.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. The more money you make, the more your rent's going to go up, meaning proportionately. So for example's sake, if you have a $2,000 a month rent and HUD pays, Section 8 pays for, let's just say $1,900, and you only have to come up with $100. And now you're making more money, they're going to reduce the Section 8 portion and increase your portion because you're no longer as needy as you were when you started. So yes, you are limited to how much more money you can make if you're not trying to spend that more money on rent. The entire United States has to pay rent. If you're renting, you make money and you pay rent. What are you even talking about? This is driving me nuts.
The more you're not going to end up, you're going to lose your qualifications.
Yeah. If you don't qualify, you're going to lose them. And if you cheat the system, you're going to lose it. Girl.
Before you had Section 8, you had a $560 rent that you could afford, even on a bad day.
Where does this lady live? $560 rent? What?
Now you in an apartment that's $1,200 and you lose your Section 8. Now you got to pay $1,200 and you're going to have to move all of these things that you're like, oh my God, I don't want to lose my Section 8. Oh my God, I don't want my rent to go up neither, because if my rent go up, then there go my whole, I'm working all these hours.
Okay. Listen, the point of Section 8 isn't to keep you perpetually on it. The point of it is to get you out of the slump that you're in for whatever reason. It doesn't matter why it happened. We all get into slumps and we all come into problems in life, okay? And here she had a second child and she got it because she had two children that were dependent on her and she wasn't having enough income, so they helped her out. But the point is to get out of it. That means you go get a better job, you make more money, you work more hours, whatever you have to do. You do what you got to do. You pay taxes on that stuff. You don't do like under the table work, and you get out of the system. You get off of Section 8 and the quote unquote trap that you're calling it. The point isn't to stay on it. And if it is your goal to stay on it, then your aspirations might need a check. Okay? You need to check your goal setting.
I have to pay more rent, and it's just a bunch of stuff. So now you want to keep it safe. Now
you want to keep it safe. No one here is trying to stay, in poverty level, but she apparently wants to keep it safe.
You want to stay within the income requirements, but yet
No, I want to get out of the income requirements if I'm on Section 8. You want to stay within income requirements. I want to thrive and grow and get out of this. I know, easy for me to say, I know.
I'm running out of time.
Yeah, I'm running out of time for you. Thanks for watching.